Cass, it's been a big week. We have a lot to cover because we had Taylor Swift's engagement,
Yeah.
rocked the internet, and God, did we need some good news that took over the news like media feed for 24 hours.
Yes.
Thank God for her. We have some Kelley Wolf updates. She was put into custody and then has now been released, but she has been quiet on social media. Thank God. I hope that I don't see her reemerge until she's stable and feeling better. So we'll talk a little bit about that. We have some Valley gossip, just some things that they posted this week that, it's my hyper obsession.
Yes.
And first, we have to recap the challenge, episode 5. So we've made it. It's another week on the pod. We, again, are only doing one episode this week for the foreseeable future until we kind of feel rejuvenated, but it's going to be a biggie because we're going to do the challenge and then the pop culture stuff. So, yeah, how are you feeling about everything this week?
I think it's just been, to be fair, I don't watch any regular news right now. So I'm
Yeah.
only getting pop culture and the challenge. So with that, it's been an amazing week for what
Yeah.
I've allowed into my brain. So twice this week, I got to like scream cheer. Like first with Taylor, and then when I saw Jonna, I like literally was just like, yes! So it felt great.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait to hear because I, of course, have no context of her because I've never seen her before in my life.
Yeah,
Um, so yeah, I'm excited to hear about the lore around John A.
I will. Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there. It's been a good week. What about you?
Yeah, I had a hard week for sure. Partly because I'm not blocking out the news as well as I probably should be, but I had a lot of time on my phone this week, and that's just never good. But I couldn't put it down. So I was glad that it was balanced out with good news, but obviously some horrific things happened this week in the US. Every week feels like that. This week was particularly bad as kids went back to school and there was a mass shooting. And we don't want to dwell on the bad news this week. And this is a sensitive topic for a lot of people. It's particularly sensitive for you, Cass, because you have experienced an event like that. And it wasn't so long ago. And it
No.
ended tragically.
Yeah, I mean, we're very, very lucky that our family is fine. I think, I mean, I've never scrolled so quickly as like I think I saw like a picture of a mom running, and because I very much remember what that feeling is like, I just can't. It's just, and I was thinking today, and I just thought, how sad is this? That I remember after the event that we went through as a family, I remember one of our loved ones said to us, you know, the good thing is that you probably won't have to have it happen again. But it's like seems to be a thing that we're all going to experience at this point. So at least yours is out of the way. And I just thought, how sad that that's where we're at. That
Yeah.
that's what we can take from it. It's like, okay, we've had our shooter experience. That should not be a rite of passage as an American.
No. And this is a country where access to guns has never been easier. And as much as we want to like fake debate about whether the problem is guns or not, the truth is when countries remove the availability for guns, they don't have school shootings and they don't have mass shootings like this. So that works. Unfortunately, for all of you gun-toting Americans that like want to hang on to your guns for whatever reason, our children are literally dying in the schools, in churches, at mass. It's fucking disgusting. And the fact that a bunch of our politicians in this country are beholden to the NRA should be illegal. That should not be a thing. It's I don't know how these people sleep at night, and we talked about this a lot at the beginning of this podcast when it was more about politics, but this is a political problem. It is also, of course, a mental health problem, but every country in the world has mental health problems and they don't have this. So, it is
Well,
time for something to happen.
yeah. And I think a long time ago, because obviously my husband is a rhino, Republican in name only at this point, but when we first got together, he had different views on guns than he does today. Obviously, he has much stronger feelings about what should be in place. But another thing that he has said repeatedly is you can't say if you're going to say it's not guns, it's mental health, okay, fine, but we don't do anything about either one.
No,
So,
and particularly the Republicans don't do anything
right,
about either one. Not
right.
only that, but the Trump administration has defunded a bunch of mental health support, both in schools. There was a bunch of funding. I think $1 billion of funding was going to getting more counselors and therapists in schools. He pulled that. He's pulled, I mean, they have no interest in that. Absolutely no interest in that. They're removing benefits for veterans.
We're
They're making the lives
3 months in to waiting on the VA to give us a call back for an intake. So,
yeah.
yeah.
So don't bullshit me about whatever bullshit you want to come up with about how this person was trans and blah, 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 blah. Like, I don't give a fuck. We need to get rid of guns in this country. We need to make it way more, like, way less accessible, point blank, period. Otherwise, our kids are going to keep dying and we're going to keep experiencing this. So that's where we're going to leave that. But it needed to be said where we stand on this. Frankly, when I find out that people that I follow don't support these types of causes, I unfollow. So that's where we stand, and we hope you stand with us. And with that said, let's get into some lighter, funner stuff. This is Confessionals and Congressionals. This used to be a pop culture and politics podcast, but we mostly do pop culture now because we need a fucking break.
Yeah. Yeah. We were, I think, I don't know that our mental health would have been okay if we had kept as tapped in as we were. We were following every single thing.
Correct. Yeah. And trying to report on it like journalists. And we're not journalists, we're pop culture aficionados.
Yes. Yes.
Let's leave
Exactly.
that to the journalists, for God's sake.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you are here and you are new, we would love for you to subscribe, follow, comment, whatever you're doing. Please, please, please. It helps boost our podcast and YouTube in the algorithm, and it helps expose it to more people so that we can hopefully get more people to chat about our favorite TV shows with.
Yes. Please, please, please.
Okay. And if you're new here, we have recapped The Valley. We've recapped all of the season of The Challenge. We've done a bunch of pop culture episodes. You can scroll back and listen to our podcasts about politics if you so desire, if you want to go back and torture yourself. And yeah, we've actually had some commenters commenting on our videos, and I wanted to talk about the last one we got.
Okay, I'm excited. Yeah, let's do it because you're the one I refuse to participate in social media. So it's all you. Every time I see I'll see like a TikTok and I'll be like, oh, it's Lauren. And I'm like, "Oh, it's our podcast TikTok."
I know, yeah,
I
it's literally me.
I tend to look away. I'm very scared of social media.
Yeah, you're not in the mindset to be taking any criticism in right now.
Now, I only want to hear good things. If it's 5-star reviews and we love you, like if you were gonna say like I think we should talk about some criticism we'd have, I would just take these out and let you talk to the screen all by yourself.
Yeah, no, we haven't. If we've received criticism, I've ignored it. No, I'm just kidding. But we've mostly gotten nice things. Um, and criticism bounces off of me and back into the ethers. So I don't give a fuck. I mean, if you have constructive feedback, please, I would love to hear it. If you just want to be a troll, I don't give a fuck. So yeah, so Britt K118, she's been commenting on our YouTubes, and I just love her. I think it's a her. And she said, "Hi, ladies. I'm so glad I found you. We're in sync with our thinking about everything, winky face." And I think
Yay!
that means the only other, so she gives us some facts because we asked for fact checks at the end
Right.
of every episode. The only other time the challenge has done this setup where they're switching teams every single episode is season 36, Double Agents. The hangnail in that season referred to as the rogue agent, which I like so much better.
Oh yeah, I like that a lot better.
Yeah, she said that there was a difference in that not every player got a new teammate every week, I guess. So having one player solo for the week. Oh, I see. So she's just saying like there was another season where there was like a hangnail, but they called it something else.
Okay, I gotcha. I gotcha.
So there was a spinoff, the Challenge USA, where everyone got a new partner every week, but they went home in pairs. So there were no hangnails. Okay. So this is sort of a combo of those two things. And then she says she agrees that they need a new term, that term is cringy. She
Yeah, it
says
is.
Jenna and Zach just had their fourth kid when he flew to do Bananas podcast. And she says Cassie You explaining Zach and Jenna, 100% with you. I can't believe it's worked out this way, but she's glad for them. And man, was he a jerk to her back in the day.
Yes. Yes. Okay, I love her. Yes, she knows what I'm talking about. Yes, he was a fuckboy.
Yeah, fuck boy. And then she says, I know the name Gamer Vev. They're an influencer who knows a lot of challenge info and spoilers. So I think they're like the reality Steve. Do you know reality Steve?
No.
Reality Steve Reality Steve knows all of the spoilers about Bachelor. So he's like infamous in the Bachelor world because he has like leaks come through like producers and stuff and like usually knows who wins and really follows all of the Bachelor news. And so anyway, I think that Gamer Vev is like the same thing but for the challenge, an influencer that knows a lot about challenge info and spoilers, and they must have known or they must have behind the scenes sources because they share a lot of unknown info. And she's like, I think they've posted who won the season before. So she thinks that Reddit read where the person was posting saying Pink and Gamer didn't lie, but they didn't have the full story. Do you remember us talking about
Y-
that?
yes.
Those are apparently like influencers that follow the challenge,
Okay,
kind
I
of like
gotcha.
us.
Yeah, that's exactly like us. All 100 of
Yeah.
my friends.
Okay. So Cassie, then she says Beth was on Challenge All Stars. She did season 1 and she was on the most recent one, season 5, although she went home almost right away. Speaking of, have you watched All Stars? It's streaming on Paramount Plus and you would love it.
So I have watched some of All Stars, and that is actually why Jonna is my favorite. So it's
Okay.
from her seasons on All Stars.
Okay. Do
Yeah.
you want to share more or do you want to share more
Yeah.
later?
I'll tell you now. Okay, so Jonna was on All Stars, and I think like underdog would be a fine way to say it. Like, I don't think a lot of people had faith in her, and we had seen her a lot previously, like from I want to say like 2010 to 2015. She was on a lot of the challenges, and she would just get so close, but never make it to the final. Like
Mm.
so close. And so then she comes on to All Stars, and she ends up placing, I think, third in season 1 of All Stars. And then she's on season 2. And season 2, you just get the vibe all season that no one considers her a threat at all. Like,
Mm.
you might as well just bring her to the final. She's going to be an easy beat. And she wins the final challenge. Her and MJ, they win the 500,000. They fly off on a private jet. And then she comes back for season 3 of All Stars and wins again.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was great. And I'm pretty sure that was it. It was 2 and 3. And then when she won season 2 of All Stars, when she was partnered with MJ, that was when Beth, who I cannot stand, started a rumor that John A had had an affair with MJ. She had nothing to back this up other than they had good chemistry all season.
Okay, is
They were
MJ a boy or a girl?
a boy.
Oh, okay. I thought MJ was I was gonna ask because if MJ was the same MJ that was on Traders, but I think MJ on Traders was from Housewives or something.
Yeah, yeah, it's not it wasn't
Okay.
MJ from the challenge, yeah. Um, and so anyway, so then Beth started that rumor, and by then Johnny was married, and it was ugly what she did. And
And
so
she did it on purpose?
yes,
Okay.
100%. That is like, and that was actually when I always have known Beth to be an instigator, cause problems, things like that. And I've tried to give her the benefit of the doubt over the years, like, trying to buy into the maybe she was naive on this, or maybe she didn't, whatever.
Yeah.
But that was it. That season, I was like, that's it. I hate Beth. I never want to see her again. Like, she's purposely
Yeah.
trying to mess with somebody's private life for no reason. And I say that because then when John A came back again, she ended up getting partnered with Beth. And Beth refused to do the first challenge, and they DQ'd, and they went home first. Yeah. Yeah.
Whoa, the tea.
I know, I'm telling
What a
you.
horrid bitch.
She is awful. She is awful. She has a podcast now. Okay. And her and another previous participant have a podcast. And they had Eric Nyes on just 2 weeks ago
No
where
shit.
where they let him go on and on with his crazy shit, and they acted like it was brilliant, and then asked him about Kelley Wolf and then let him talk about it. Just like,
What did he say about Kelley Wolf in that interview?
just that I mean, basically just that divorce is hard, but she's doing really well and blah, 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 blah. Yeah. And that was the podcast that I was telling you about where he talked about how he had done the Give It to Me Again
Ayahuasca.
with, yes, like 100 times or 300 times by himself. And that was Beth's podcast. And it was exploitative and gross. It was Beth. It was exactly what you would expect of Beth.
Yeah. Is she kind of like, no. I was going to think like, is she kind of like Sheena, where she just kind of like doesn't care about other people's reputation? She'll just say whatever she wants to say. But it sounds like she's more manipulative and I don't want to say smarter, but
I would say yes, more manipulative, smarter, and also she does not have that people pleaser part
gotcha.
of it. She's very like like could
Oh,
give a
she's
shit.
plotting.
Yes. Yes. So,
Well,
yeah.
what a loser.
I know. So
Okay,
I'm
so
happy to see Jonna back without Beth.
hell yeah.
Yeah.
I know. So, question: Is do you think she's here for the full season until she gets out then, or was she just like a guest? Is she just a
Oh
guest?
no, she's in. She's in.
Okay,
So when there's an injury, either the person's partner has to go home too, when it's just you're both out now. Or if somebody leaves like Carmery, the partner sometimes has to go too. It's just the way
okay,
it is. And then sometimes they do have backups that are waiting. And so when they get called in, that's it. They're here for the rest of the season.
okay. All right. So the last thing she said was, "Holy moly, that news about Kelley Wolf! Yikes! I really don't go on social media, so this info is just shocking. I absolutely hate when new AG gurus talk people into getting off of their medication." So retweet, retweet. Oh, apparently the kids
Mm.
are doing this. This means
What does this mean?
it's sign language. What is this sign language for?
I'm not sure.
Eat?
I'll have to look.
I think it's eat
No, because
or
you'd have
ate.
to put it towards your mouth.
Yeah. So this is you
Yeah.
ate with that.
Okay. Okay. I learned something new. Do you know my daughter, my 7-year-old, came in the other day and she said somebody on Roblox has the name Mommy, and I think it's pretty sus.
That is sus.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
sus.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Because she's not your mommy, so whose mommy is she? Because
Right, and then
you're her mommy.
yeah, and she kept going. She's like, "What if it's a bad man trying to pretend to be a mommy?" And I'm like, "That is exactly, yeah." So,
Yeah, you keep with that line of thought, girlfriend, and do not trust those people. Do not trust a single one of those people, girlfriend, especially if they say they're a mommy.
that's exactly right.
Yeah. Okay, so that I just wanted to call out Britt K. We love ya. We love your comments. And then also we got Ricky with 3Ys1248 that watched both of our videos, I think back to back, like found us and then watched the other one after they watched the first one. And they were just like,
Oh,
we just found the podcast. You guys have great takes. And I love the perspective of a new viewer. Hi, that's me.
yeah.
Great recap and enjoying the Olivia versus Bananas rivalry this season. So,
Yeah.
so fun.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get into it.
Oh my God, Ty! You're such a f***ing liar, Camille.
Don't take care. Hope to see you never.
Cabs are here!
Dude, stop acting like you're the number one guy in this group, man. I'm the number one guy in this group.
Things that are about to get murderous.
So, the challenge, episode 5. Overall, this episode didn't hit for me the way that the way that last week's hit, because that was just so satisfying. But it is going to be interesting to see how all of these dynamics play out now, because what we're seeing is like a vets versus new threats solidifying now that Bananas is gone. But it seems like the vets are not all working together very well.
No, they're not. I agree. Like, I didn't love this episode, and I mean, I didn't hate it, but I was just like, I'm a little disappointed by some of them and their lack of growth. Like Anissa, like it's the same game with Anissa every time, which is just whichever popular person she's decided to, get in good with. She never plays the game
Yeah.
for herself. She just doesn't.
What do you
And
think that's about?
I'm really not sure. I thought about that a lot today before we recorded because I was like, it almost is like the Sheena, like people pleaser in her, but she also doesn't care if certain people are mad at her. But it's only like if it's if the people in her popular clique are also okay with those people being mad. You know what I'm saying? Like she's
Yeah.
always trying to and so I don't think she ever plays the game well enough for herself.
Yeah. Yeah, and she's certainly not playing it well right now. The vets are like kind of sick of her shit. They're like, we only had to see you go against what your word once, and that's
Yep.
enough for us. Burn us twice, and that's on us. So yeah, so we open up and we actually get bus ride footage for the first time. After Bananas last week was saying, I wish that they would show the bus ride footage because all this stuff happens on the bus, whatever.
Right.
So, and they're talking about the bad side of Bananas going home. So this is like after the challenge after the arena thing last week where Bananas got sent home. This is directly after that. They're heading back.
Right.
And all of a sudden they're like, okay, now what? And Olivia is like, now what? And they're like, this was your idea, bitch. Like, don't start saying that this is bad.
Yeah. That would be, again, I totally see how it happens because you get so laser focused on this is what needs to happen. And then once it does, if it's that early on, you're like, okay, so then after we do that, what were we going to do? And you're like, oh, fuck, I didn't think that was ever going to work. So I don't know.
Yeah, totally. And yeah, she makes a few blunders this episode, which makes me wonder if she just got really fucking lucky for the first few episodes of being compelling and kind of having a laser focus and that being an easy train for people to get on. But this week she's all over the place and she fucked up and she's fallen in my rankings because she was my MVP at one time.
Yeah. Yeah, she definitely was not for me this week.
Yeah, I didn't love it. Michaela says Johnny is a mastermind genius in her little confessional. I'm like, girl, he's gone. You don't have to keep kissing his ass.
Right.
Yeah.
This is probably just to stop him from tweeting about them. It's like, can you make sure that you air this part where I say he's awesome, please?
Yeah.
God.
Yeah. And then she's glad that the new threats are feeling cocky because it makes them easier to take down is kind of her whole philosophy on this thing. And then they're talking about Gabe and being like, okay, Gabe, you're still here. So now what do we do with you? Like kind of who wants you? We're sort of, is it the vets that are going to take him? Is it the new threats that are going to take him? I feel like nobody totally knows if they want him, but they know that the more numbers they have, the better off they are. That's the vibe I got.
Yeah, I totally agree. Which he hasn't done anything that wrong. So I don't know why you wouldn't be scooping him up for the numbers alone.
Yeah, and I want to see a redemption arc for him. I hope he doesn't go home soon. I want to see him correct his mistakes.
You're going to be so sad when we get to MVP, MVP.
Yeah.
He did not fare well for me this week.
No, I mean, yeah, I would agree with that. I just want to see him.
Yeah.
Because we've talked to him and now it's now I'm rooting for him because I feel like he's our friend.
Yeah, obviously.
And so, I mean, yeah, it's I'm rooting for him to correct course here.
Yeah, he made a choice today that really made me just oh, man, I have to talk about that and I can't spin that anyway.
Shoot, okay. I'm assuming you mean what happened in the jury.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we'll get to that. So then they get back to the house and they're burying the banana and they make a little tombstone for Bananas and they're all putting items by his tombstone and all of this. It's just all very silly.
Well, to be fair, whenever I see moments like that, I always remind myself how bored they are.
Oh,
they have no phone, they have no TV, they're not allowed books. Sure.
Oh, I thought it was funny.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But I mean, it's ridiculous,
Yeah, it's
but
totally
then I'll
ridiculous.
be well, Yeah, if I had absolutely nothing to do, sure.
Yeah. And the girls are like, love you, miss you.
Yeah, God.
I'm sure he loved that. Leroy's like, want to be friends again to Gabe. They're like sitting around at the table, and it seems like they see him as like a physical threat. They now know like he's a good competitor.
Yeah,
Now, what do we do with that information?
yeah.
And then we get a scene of some of the new threats strategizing, and like I have a hard time keeping the new threats and vets apart because I've never watched the show. So besides like CT and Anissa and Bananas, I basically like don't know who's new to the show. But I think this was all new threats, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty
Jeremy
sure
was
that it
leading
was.
it.
Yeah, yeah, and I'm the same way, believe it or not, even as someone who's watched, because there are people that are vets that haven't been on that many times.
Right, they're like one season
Right,
people.
and we're, like, calling him a veteran now, so
Yeah, it's like,
sometimes I'm even like, "Shit, that's a vet? Okay."
yeah. Okay. So yeah, and then Anissa comes by and pretends that she wasn't spying, and the new threats are saying that they need to slaughter the vets before they get slaughtered, basically. Like, we've got to stick together. The vets are going to pick us off if we don't pick them off. So they are coming together, it seems like. I don't know who was missing from that little round table, but the new threats are trying to come together, it seems like.
It
Why are you shaking your
does,
head?
but, because it you know what have you ever seen Die Hard? I think you should edit that out because that is for the rest of you that have been alive
Yes.
and not under a rock, that moment when Bruce Willis, welcome to the party, pal. That is how I felt in this moment when they were like, all right, I think it's like we got to band together and then it'll be like the vets versus the new threats.
Oh, it's like they
Yes.
just realized what the game is that they're playing?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And like TJ's told you, it's vets versus new threats. And they're
Yeah.
acting like, you know what we could do, guys? What if it was like the new threats versus the vets? And as a viewer, I'm like, what? Did you not know what we were doing
Yeah, that's actually really funny.
here?
I mean, it, like, speaks to Michaela's whole point when she's like, "These dumbasses don't know what they're doing," and as irritating as I find her, maybe she's right. I don't know, I'm not there.
On that point, I was a little bit like, yeah, no, because that scene really made me be like, I'm so confused.
Oh, that's fun. Okay, so then we get the scene with Cara Maria saying goodbye suddenly, and what we kind of learn is that she has a family emergency, I think, with her mom going on. We don't get any details really, but she alludes to the fact that, like, home life is generally hard and that this is an escape, and this really made me feel for her.
So I will only say it because she announced it on her TikTok. Her mother ended up passing away after she went back home. So, and again, I'm only sharing that because she did. She was
Yeah.
off TikTok for a while. And when she first came back, she was like, I know I've been quiet a while, and here's why. So
That's sad.
it is. It is. Again, I have to like,
I know.
it's so hard, right? Okay. It's like when Jax Taylor's dad passed away.
Mhm.
And I'm genuinely human to human, heartbroken and sad for you. But does it mean that I like you more? I don't, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what to do with that because I felt the same way you did when I saw it, especially having a front row seat to what it is to lose a parent. I
Yeah.
wish it on no one. Wish it on no one. It's horrible. It's awful. Also, Cara Maria annoys, like, they're two very separate things. I feel for her
Right.
and I don't love everything.
I know, and it's hard in these times. We talk about this all the time privately, but it's like we have people in our life who actively, with the way that they vote, cause harm to us.
Right. Right.
And their beliefs cause harm to us and our
Right.
families and our kids and all of that. And that's like how we see it. And yet we do have to coexist with people that we disagree with and people that, from our perspective, cause harm to us. And like, how do you make that happen? And I think I had empathy for her in this episode. I don't necessarily like her more. I don't have any reason to like her, really.
Right.
She didn't really do anything, and everything she did do was a little annoying, and I don't support the things that she believes in. But yeah, human to human, it's like, yeah, that sucks. That sucks to have to go home. You were at an opportunity that was a relief from your real life. And we know that a lot of people that have those beliefs are functioning out of trauma.
Yeah.
They've been left behind. They feel like they didn't get what was owed to them. And so they're like, fuck everybody, fuck the system, fuck everything. Like, it doesn't support me, so I don't want it to support anyone.
Well, and I will say that I don't notice a whole lot of like MAGA whatever on her social media until after.
Mom?
Yeah.
That sucks.
I know.
Yeah. So anyway, she has to go home.
She has to
Bye.
go home.
I mean,
And
she was the lowest points on the point board. She probably wasn't going to hang around for a whole lot longer, considering she wasn't bringing a whole lot to the show, to the challenges, to anything. But it is sad to see her go. CT is really sad to see her go. I think the vets are really sad to see another vet go, no matter how much they're contributing. And they're down another one. So now I don't know what the numbers are now, but the vets are now definitely outnumbered by the new threats.
Yeah, and I was curious as soon as she announced she was going. I think she was at that time was partnered with Leo. And my first thought was, okay, so what's going to happen to Leo? Because that varies season to season. Sometimes that is I'm sorry that it went this way, but you're out.
Yeah, and I would imagine it has to do with how quickly they can get somebody in.
Yeah, I think it has to do with they almost always have a few waiting in the wings. I think sometimes it depends how far into the season we've gotten, what other things that might have happened. So, and we see that even later, like when we get to the tie. That was another moment where I was kind of on the edge of my seat because I know that doesn't always go the way that it went this time.
Okay.
So we'll get there. But yeah, so I was curious right away. I'm like, is Leo now going to be told he's out or what's going to happen?
Right. And we get a confessional of him saying that he's bummed not to have gotten to work with her, that she was a vet that he wanted to work with. And now he's like, what does my fate hold? More importantly.
Yeah.
So now we get everyone heading to the challenge, and we get a confessional of Dee saying that she's worried about working with Gay Derek because that's not what she calls him. That's what we call him on this podcast. I feel like we've already named him that, so I feel like I can't go back. But she's worried about it because she's always thought that he was a snake and that they haven't been aligned.
Right. Because Johnny Bananas has convinced her of that.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
Planted some seeds that live on. Yeah. So confessional, then we get a confessional of Gay Derek saying he's worried that Dee got advice from Bananas not to work with him. So they are on the same page about what they think about what's going on with this situation. And there's one thing in common, which is Bananas.
Yep.
And he says, even though he's not in the house, he's still here.
Yeah. And this, I sorry, but my respect for Dee just down a little bit because when I think about it, if Johnny hates somebody, it is because they've seen through him. And so that's what she should be thinking is Derek must know Johnny pretty well. Is the truth. That's the only time Johnny hates somebody.
Right. Yeah. And that particular thing of he's still here, even though he's not here, that's really good. He's going to love that. He's going to love that even more than the other thing. Every time his name comes up in this episode, he's clapping and cheering and gets a little, it just like the Grinch, makes his heart grow a little bit bigger. Yeah. So, so then we get a confessional of Olivia saying that she's worried to work with Ben because he's lacking in size and strength, which irritated me, considering how well, up until this episode, how well he's done. And also, I think it's so important to have a partner who believes in you and who does not think that you're going to fail before you've even started. And we've seen him crush physical competition So I think that he was in his head this episode.
I do too.
That's what I'm going with.
I'm with you. I'm
Yeah.
with you.
I got to stand by my man, Ben. I love that guy.
I know I was pretty bummed that went that way.
Yeah. And this is when I started to turn on Olivia because she's coming after my man. So then my new man, sorry, because my man in just a few episodes was bananas, but I've of course moved on.
Oh, thank God. That's like coming on here and being like, I can't help it. Jax Taylor is just sexy.
I know. No, I know.
It's say
really
that
fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like some dark romance stuff.
Okay, so then we get to the challenge, and they're all getting the scoop from TJ about Cara Maria leaving, and so now Leo's left alone, and we kind of find out what's going to happen with him and what's going to happen in this. So he's going to get paired with an all-star, and everybody gets really excited. And then we get a drone shot from about 7 miles away of somebody walking through the Saharan desert on their way to this championship. They made her walk like 25 miles to get to where everybody is standing.
And they're playing like the Avengers music, you know.
Yeah,
it was great. It was so great. I'm like, please be somebody good. Please be somebody good.
And it's Jonna. Jonna?
Jonna.
Okay, it's Jonna. Yeah, and then we find out that it's her 13th season. And she says that people describe her as a wild card and that she's strong, but she's very individualistic.
Yeah.
Hey,
and I think,
hi, Blake. If you're watching on YouTube, Blake just came in. Blake's Cassie's hearing
alert dog.
Alert dog.
Yeah,
hi,
but
Blake.
there's nothing going on. Yeah, and
got the
she
cuddles
is
now, though.
Yeah. She's incredibly like caring, and she's like the mom of the house when she comes on. Like if she does manipulate, it's never ugly. It's never like she knows she's playing a game, you know, but she's never going to like purposely hurt anybody, or I just love her.
Yeah, I love to see it. We love to see somebody who can hold their compassion and empathy at the same time as their competitiveness.
Yes.
So, and then TJ says it's a special challenge and that greatness demands sacrifice. And then we get an ad for a movie.
Okay, hold on. Yes, we do. And if you've been watching the challenge for a while, tell me this did not remind you of back in the day when it would be like, guys, I got a text on my T-Mobile sidekick from TJ. That was all that was going through my head when they did this. So it was like they put these ads in and we're all supposed to act like it's just totally normal.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes it's more heavy-handed than others in different TV shows, but this happens in The Bachelor too, where they've gotten better about it, but it used to just be so obnoxious and like interfering of the episode.
Yeah.
But this one, it wasn't so bad, but I mean, it was a little heavy-handed, I have to say. But yeah, we get an ad for this movie, for Jordan Peele's new horror movie, I think. And then we find out that Dirtballer is the name of this challenge. And what they have to do is they have to dig up 3 posts that are buried 5 feet into the ground, carry them to the end, 50 yards or something like that, to the end, build a field goal, and then they have to try to kick the field goal. And the first one to do it gets 8 points, and then everybody else kind of gets decreasing points from there, I guess. And then the people that are last lose.
Yeah.
Believe it or not.
Yeah. You could have like let me do this for 24 hours straight and offered me like $100,000 and I never would have been able to kick it through the damn thing. I know it.
Yeah.
So the whole time I was just like, I would be crying because I would have been like, Ben, it's just never going to happen. It's just never going to happen.
I know. And it's like the more he went on, the worse it got.
Well, because then you get in your head, right?
Totally.
And you forget how to even kick at a certain point.
And you're exhausted and it's hot out there. They've been at it for like 2.5, 3 hours.
Yeah. It was hard to watch Olivia just do it the first try. Right?
No.
It's a little like,
It's like, ooh,
that's embarrassing.
that's
Not as embarrassing as being a human backpack like Johnny Bananas. I'm going to figure out how to bring that up every episode, I think.
but do we want to bring up bananas every episode?
If he's a human backpack or a dog on a leash, I'm okay with that.
Okay, love that. Okay, so then we get Gabe and Lekka saying that they're two former athletes. So this is like when we're getting on the intros. They're two former athletes, and even though they're both rookies, they're ready to kill it. And then Justin says that his dad was a football coach, and even though he was usually with the cheerleaders, he is good at kicking a ball, he says. Or he has kicked a ball, I guess, to be more accurate.
Good for.
Then we say here that Ben says that he was a third string linebacker, and Olivia is like very surprised and like joyous about this. But then I thought about it for like 2 more seconds, and I'm like, oh yeah, third string means like they didn't have anybody that didn't make the team. They just let everybody that tried out join the team, and you're on the third string. I feel like
Yeah.
I was on the C team of basketball in the 8th grade, and that meant that we never played.
Right. Although I don't know. There was a point in this one where Olivia's like, it's like, has he never kicked a football in his life? Like, my first thought was like, is that odd? Because
Right.
I've never cooked a football in my life. I've never.
Right, and usually the person on football teams that kicks the ball, there's only like a couple of designated people that do that. Usually it's the throwing of the ball.
Kicker. It's the
Right.
kicker.
Yeah, and then I
That's
think
the
there's somebody
only-
else that punts it, or is that the same person?
That's the same person. It's the kicker.
Great, I love that.
Yeah. I think. I feel I'm like 85% confident on that one.
This isn't a sports podcast, okay? And we never claimed to be one. Okay, so then Izzy says that she's not doing great with the shovel, and Derek is like, wait, is she not good at everything? I thought she was good at everything. What did this...
It just like, I don't know. This whole challenge, just like so many of them lacked teamwork and
Oh my God.
like cheering each other on.
I
You know, it
completely
was
agree. I'm like, these
uncomfortable. Yeah.
losers need to learn how to collaborate with each other and like work as a team. I think the thing about the challenge that I find, what's the word? I guess one of the things that makes me not like it that much is that, or as much as I could, is that all of these people have egos the size of Texas, and they will not, like, so many of them refuse to like take anybody else's insight or input or anything. And so it's like you've got Ashley, you've got Michaela, you've got Nani, you've got, I can't remember all the other people that were just being like impossible to work with. But it's like, you guys are a team.
Yeah. I think the reason that I'm not loving this season is when I look back on seasons that I really, really like, and Jonna said it during this challenge. She was talking about like how much she likes working with someone. And in seasons past, when they're teamed up with someone and that is their teammate for the game, like from the day we
Right.
start till the final, like you have to learn how to work with each other. You have to learn how to build each other up. You are relying on each other. With the way they have it set up this time, it's like they don't give a shit if they treat one of their partners like crap, because you're not going to be my partner tomorrow, bitch. You know,
Right,
like
and
that's kind of their outlook.
like theoretically, for the most part so far, I'm against you if we're talking vets versus new threats.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't give a shit about working with you.
Yeah. I think like, I don't know if this would work in the game, but I feel like if I was there, I would not want to go along with the narrative that the producers want you to go along with, that it's vets versus new threats. I would want to be creating an alliance that includes both vets and new threats. I just think that that would be like a stronger game, but I don't know anything about this, so don't take my word.
I agree. I'm with you.
Okay, well, I love that. Okay, so then, yeah, so we just get like all of these teams working really bad together, but CT always works great with his partners.
You know, CT actually treats whoever his partner is as if they're his partner for this entire game.
With respect.
Yes.
And like their opinion matters.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
and it's like, I think a lot of these vets treat the new threats like they're dumb, you know, like 5-year-olds or something. Like, it's like, you don't know anything that you're doing. Just listen to me and I will make it work. And it's like that you guys are shooting yourself in the foot, like Ashley last week and this week, just being incredibly stubborn and difficult to get along with. And it's like, this is not going to work well for you.
Yeah, I agree.
So she's annoying me.
Just a little.
Yeah. But yeah, CT is the first one to get a pullout, and Sydney says that they're digging everything first and then transporting, which I feel like is a good plan. Nany and Justin carry their first pullback, and we get a montage of all of them digging and walking. And Michaela says that they have the same strategy as CT, to pull them all out first. Then Ashley says that she hates working with the rookies, and it's like she just hates when people don't listen to what she says and like do it.
Yeah.
She likes to be the boss.
Yeah.
Jonna. Okay, yeah. I keep saying Jonna from Love Island. Jonna says Leo isn't really being a good partner and is just doing his own thing, which I felt like was interesting and probably true. A little irritating.
Yep.
Michaela and Jake are the first to construct their field goal, and he kicks it and misses. TJ laughs. I thought that was funny.
I know. I love TJ. You know that.
Yeah. He's like, hilarious. I'll try again, dork.
Yep.
And then they get it on the second try. So they're the first ones to win. And it's like, Michaela cannot just enjoy this moment. The first thing she says is, in the confessional thing after winning, she says that she's like, Jake is, we just need to get, he has a lot of friends in this group, but we just need to get him playing a strategy game. This is a competition, and it's just like, dude, just like enjoy this and
yeah,
say that he did a good job. Don't immediately criticize him the moment you have a chance. It's annoying.
She can't help herself.
I know. Just say, great job. I loved being partners with you. You crushed it. We together, you and I, just crushed that.
Maybe that is why I was so excited to see Jonna show up, is because other than her and CT, I don't know that I really love any of these people. I like Ben a lot. That did me no good.
Yeah.
I don't know that there's anybody that I feel like you seem like a good person.
Yeah, they're all cocky, washed up reality TV losers.
Yeah.
Come at me in the comments for that, but that's my take.
I was going to say, that's Lauren that said that, guys. That'd be at Lauren.
Okay. So then we start to get like everybody getting done. So we get second place is Adrian and Turbo, third place is Aviv and Will, then fourth Lecca and Gabe, fifth Sedna and Nisa, sixth America and Leroy, and then we get a confessional of Ben saying Olivia is getting stressed and he can tell that like she's getting tense. So the fact that he's noticing that now is not a good sign because they are not even close to being done. Then Sydney and CT get seventh. I didn't catch who got eighth.
I didn't write that down.
Yeah, so somebody gets eighth. Now, at this point, Ben has tried 11 times and missed. And Nany and Justin get ninth. Jonna and Leo get 10th. Ben is on try 14, try 15, try 16. Theo and Tay get 11th. Ben is getting emotional, so Olivia decides to try her hand at kicking the ball. And the whole time that he was struggling, I was wondering why she didn't offer to do that sooner, or what was, I don't know if they had agreed like, no, I want to kick it, or if there was.
I have no idea. But I also was just like, I don't know that the editors are people that I'd want to hang out with, because you keep making sure that we see them talk about missing bananas, and also make sure that we see this is his 15th try. This is his 6th. Like, you didn't have to do that. For all we know, Olivia might have been on her 3rd attempt, but they sure made it look like it was her very first one.
No, that's so true. They could have edited this in a way that it made it look like because everybody seemed to get it in really easily, and I would be very surprised if that was actually how it went down.
Right, because when they were talking about him not making it, they're like, he keeps kicking it straight on. He's not getting underneath it enough. And I'm like, listen, that's not common knowledge. You don't just know how to kick a football to make it do that unless you've played. So I'm sure there was a little bit of a learning curve for a lot of them, but they didn't show that. It just went right in for everybody except for poor Ben.
I know, poor Ben. And he's so classy throughout this whole episode. He handles everything so well. He is the classiest loser,
Yeah.
and we'll miss him. And R.I.P. So now at this point, even though they've gotten theirs in and they made it seem like it was lasting forever, we still have a few teams burying their polls, and it's been at this point 2.5 hours. So
Oh my
then we get
God.
yeah.
I would just
Then
sit
we get a
down.
confessional of Sydney saying that she wants Dee and Derek to get it in because she wants either Izzy or her partner Derek to go home. And so they're lining up the shots at the exact same moment in time. Izzy and Derek get it in, and Dee and gay Derek get last place. So not what Sydney wanted. And Michaela and Jake are told that they are safe from elimination, and they get to pick one team to save from judgment from the jury. And we learn that it's a boys' day again, so gay Derek is going to have to be up in the arena. And he's acting a little cocky.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's
he
like,
is.
who's the toughest guy in here? Bring him in. I'll beat him, kind of a thing. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
and so then we get a confessional. Oh, so then we're back at the house, and Jonna is looking around the house and taking in the sights and getting lost because I think it's large and confusing. And she talks about in a confessional about how gay Derek is like her friend in the house and how she really wants him to stay.
Yeah. I think there's trust there. Like, I think she feels like we would be okay.
Yeah.
Like,
And
I
yeah,
think
it's like he's the one person she can trust. She might like other people, but she feels like he
Yeah.
would watch her back.
Yeah.
And then we get a confessional of Jake saying that he wants to save Leo because they want to have this sort of like, I scratch your back, you're my friend, you scratch mine later. Like he wants to do a solid for his friend so that down the line, if he needs a solid done for him, that can happen, which is a strategy a lot of the new threats have been using. And we kind of get a preview for the next episode. And it does seem like, despite Michaela's criticisms of this like way to go about saving people, it seems like it pays off.
Okay. I didn't watch the preview for next week.
Okay, I'll give you the scoop. But so then we get to the after party, and they're dancing their butts off.
Yep.
They're twerking.
Yep. Yep.
And Michaela and Jake are strategizing, and Michaela is saying that they've been playing a mindless game. I mean, she just can't stop insulting everybody's intelligence that is there. And she wants them to be more strategic. And, with that said, he's going to save Leo. Like, so
Yeah.
it's sort of like, that is what she criticized. I think it was last week.
Yeah.
Somebody saving somebody who wasn't at risk. And that's what he
Yes.
does. But she's all on board with that, I guess. And so then gay Derek comes over to put in his like suggestion for who he wants to go up against.
Right. Right. Is this when he's talking to Ashley?
No, this is when he's talking to Michaela and Jake, and he says
Okay.
that he wants to go up against a new threat, not a
Okay.
vet.
Right. Right.
I don't know if it's right here or not, but he says that he wants to go against Jeremy or Will.
Yeah. I was surprised about the Jeremy thing. I'm like, are you sure about that?
Yeah, did you see him climb that wall at the speed of like Spider-Man? Come on.
Right. That's risky.
Yeah, at this party as well, Jeremy is talking to Gabe about if he thinks like where he feels like he stands, and Gabe is like, I feel like I'm at the bottom of both the threats and the new threats and the vets like ranking, and that he just
Yeah.
feels very vulnerable in terms of being like liked in the house. Lecca says Jeremy is her number one male rookie alliance, and Gabe still needs to earn the trust of people. Sounds like.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and it's a shame that he like fed into this because you can see how afraid he is to play this game very shortly hereafter.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is when we get them talking to Ashley. Gay Derek talking to Ashley about who he wants to put in, and Ashley's like, so you want me to be, why are you telling me?
Yeah, I actually loved this. Like, there was a couple moments from her where I'm like, thank God you're not falling for this shit. You know, where she's just like, what do you think? I'm an idiot? You're going to try to tell me that it's all going to be fine if okay. Like, I was very, very happy that she called that.
Yeah, she does not buy any bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah. And I like that.
Yeah, I do
like
too.
that.
So yeah, Ashley is like super worried at this point. She's like, so I'm going to be the hangout, or I'm going to have to go home. Like, this is so frustrating.
Yeah.
And everyone is strategizing like rookie versus new vet. Who are we going to put up? And obviously the rookies want to make sure a vet goes in, the vets want to make sure a rookie goes in. And so, yeah. So then we get back at the house after the party, and Ashley's saying that she's always at the bottom of everybody's list and she's terrified. Is that true?
I mean, I don't think that she's not, I would agree with her that she's not a priority to save. Like,
Yeah.
to make sure that she's okay. I know. She's just like determined. Yes, I do hear the thunder.
Is it thundering?
Yes.
Blake.
Yes.
I know it's so scary.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think like she's right that she's not the center of an alliance
Yeah.
that cares about her. Like I don't think she's disliked. Nobody's like coming for her the way they were for the guy that left that we don't like. But
What's his face?
she's exactly whatever his name is. I don't know. Apple, was that it? But I don't think that people care if
Yeah.
she goes. She's an
Yeah.
easy one.
Yeah. So then Olivia this is where we get her basically like volunteering herself. That's not what she intended, allegedly, but that's effectively what happens, is that she's like, I think she's trying to basically say like, go ahead, come at me. I have nothing to be afraid of. I will, kind of just being cocky about it. Is that how you read that?
Yeah, she was talking a big game and being all like, and I hate it when they do this and then like are like, no, but like, I don't seriously want to go in. Like, no, you just stood in the kitchen and acted like, I think that the attitude should be like, whatever, you need to earn your place here. So get in there. Okay.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Wish
Yeah.
granted, girl. So, yeah, and her allies are like, shut the fuck up.
Yes.
Seriously. Like,
yes.
Not only are you screwing yourself, your partner, but now you're also screwing all of your allies that need you here.
Yeah. Stop.
Okay, so then it's the next day at the house, and Olivia's trying to clear up the misunderstanding and saying that she wasn't trying to volunteer herself. She was just saying whatever. And we get all the girls together saying that they want to put Olivia in, I think. That's what all the girls are saying.
I think they're saying like after that showing, it seems like you feel like you'd be okay to be the hangnail.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Sure. That makes it easy for us, right? Because then we don't have to vote for somebody that is in our alliance or that we don't want to get on our bad side or that we might want to team up with later.
Yep.
So then we get a confessional of Ben saying that he got fucked by her comment. And he's still so nice about it, especially compared to everybody else on this TV show.
I know. It's like, that's what made
He's like,
it so
I know she didn't mean it
painful.
this way, but she really fucked me.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
Be mad.
Yeah. And so then we get a confessional of Jeremy saying he's concerned that he will get voted in. So at this point, basically, like the two people that are getting decided between are both new threats, right?
Yeah.
And
well, no, wait. I don't think Jeremy is a new threat, is he? I thought he was.
I don't know.
I'm gonna look it up.
I feel like I looked it up and he was from a different show.
Okay, maybe. Because yeah, like let's see. Jeremy is a contestant. Well, I know he's a contestant, but which side is he on here? I don't know. Yeah, he's got to be a new threat because his debut on the challenge was July of 2025.
Yeah, so it's just like,
yeah,
come on, new threats. Yeah. Why are you putting up 2 new threats, you dumb idiots?
Yeah. Yeah. That is so true.
Yeah, I just thought that was annoying.
Well, what vets do you have left? You've got CT. Well, God, you have a lot of them, right? Because we still have Straight Derek. We've got CT. Leroy's still here.
Yeah.
Right? We didn't see a lot of these people.
No, they're not doing anything.
Brilliant. Like, they're letting them eat themselves.
I know.
Wow.
I know, but I don't want to give them that much credit because they're all annoying as fuck.
The vets?
Yeah, I find them to be annoying and cocky.
CT
except for CT.
and Leroy? Straight
I'm
Derek?
iffy. I'm still iffy on Leroy.
Really? What about Straight
Yeah.
Derek?
I don't like him.
Wow. He is one of my all-time favorites. I feel like he has a heart of gold.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't like his
Yeah.
haircut.
So Johnny Bananas you find sexy, and
Listen.
Straight Derek with the heart of gold doesn't have the hair for
Gives
you.
me the
okay?
ick.
Yeah. No. No.
And it's broken in here. So yeah. So then we get to the jury, and this is how it goes down. Jake and Michaela say that they're going to save Leo and Jonna. And this is when we get a confessional of Olivia saying, dude, Michaela, like, I thought you were against saving people that weren't in threat of going home, but here suddenly you're like good with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Olivia's pissed because she knows what's about to happen too. So she's like noticing the double standard specifically because of this.
Yeah.
And then we get Adrian and Turbo vote for Jeremy. Aviv and Will choose Ben and Olivia. We get a confessional of Aviv saying that she's heard about the alliance of the Tarzan and the girls, and she wants to break that up if possible. But she chooses Ben and Olivia for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know why. We get Gabe and Lekka, and Gabe elects himself.
That, I mean, you know I want to love Gabe. But that is, I'm trying to find a word that's less offensive. I'm struggling.
Well, I think he thinks that he was being noble.
It's not. You're, first of all, you're either trying too hard to get people to like you or you're too scared of the game. And both of those are going to destroy you on this show.
Yeah.
It's not a
Yeah.
good strategy at all.
I think like you do kind of have to be a little cocky.
A little bit. I mean,
Yeah.
you at least have to show that you're willing to make a move.
Yeah.
And that wasn't it.
Yeah, sorry, Gabe. Anissa and Cedric vote for Justin and Nani. Nani's confessional saying that Anissa's loyalty is not to the vets, but to Olivia. This is when she's just clocking like, mere hours ago, you told us that you were going to vote for someone else. So what the hell is this? Leroy and America vote for Ben and Olivia. America, Ben and Olivia. Oh, I already said that. Oh, Ashley, Ben and Olivia. Justin, Ben and Olivia. We get a confessional of Olivia saying that she's having regrets about what she said. No shit. Theo says a bunch of stuff. Theo just can't fucking help himself.
I know.
He just has to stand up there and like say something that's going to shoot him in the foot.
Yeah. Yeah.
And this time when he stands up there and says something that's going to shoot him in the foot, he says a bunch of stuff about how some of these people have been at this for 15 or 16 seasons and never won because they are too afraid to make a big move. And I am not too afraid to make a big move. So I'm going with Ashley and Ben.
Right. Big move.
Yeah, really stunned me. I didn't think you were going to go there. And Nani is like, excuse me, motherfucker?
Well, because it very much felt like, I'm pretty sure you're talking to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jonna and Ben vote for Ashley and Jeremy. Izzy and Derek vote for Jeremy and Ashley. So then it's tied. And TJ says he does not like ties.
He does not like ties.
And everybody gets scared.
Does not like ties. Yeah. And he tells them they have to vote again, but now
Yep.
between the two with the most.
And they tie
Right?
again.
And they tie again. Now, let me just tell you a little bit of lore. There have been challenges. For example, there was one. Do you remember when CT carried somebody like a backpack?
Yeah.
Was not a contestant that season. He was only brought in for the arena. You
Okay.
went in the arena against one of these like gladiators, right? That was CT's role. There was a time when CT was on for something like that. And I don't know if it was that season, but that was his role, was just that gladiator chaos maker, right? Like, and when they got into a tie and couldn't decide who to send into the arena, then they just let CT choose. TJ was like, CT, who would you like? And he wasn't even a contestant. There's been times where it's a tie and TJ has went to whoever just won the challenge and said, pick somebody. And it doesn't mean that you have to pick between the two. It means pick anybody you want. It's incredibly risky to let it go to a tie. The fact that they weren't changing their vote that
Yeah.
second time makes me wonder if they already knew that TJ was going to take it to a coin toss. Because
Oh,
I'm like, why are you not more like, shit, guys? I don't know. Because every guy then should be scared.
yeah.
If it ties again, it could be me.
Yeah.
And that wasn't their reaction. It was just like, I'm not changing my vote. I'm sticking to this.
Yeah.
What? It was weird.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it ends in a tie. Gabe says that he doesn't want to, before it ends in a tie, Gabe doesn't want to pick somebody. He's worried about breaking a friendship, but they vote for Ben and Olivia. And yeah, I mean, Ben does a little confessional where he's like, please, if there's a God, and I've never really been a religious person, but please, if you're there, this would be the time to help me out. And God says, no, thanks. And God makes him go in the arena.
To be fair, he may not have been tuned into the challenge, please, in that moment. But yeah, it doesn't work out for him.
Yeah. So then we get the vets talking together about how they feel betrayed by Anissa. And we also get a confessional of Ben saying, like, I just realized I can't trust anyone.
Yeah.
And yeah, unfortunately a little late for that realization. Yeah, so then we're in the arena and they walk in and there's like what I thought was like a boxing mat like ring in the middle, fenced in. I was like, boy.
Yeah.
I kind of don't want to see this. But I had a little bit of hope in my heart for our boy Ben, because he's apparently a trained MMA fighter and boxing and like all this kind of stuff. And he talks about how he has a lot of heart. And yeah, I feel like I see that with him. And it's like what I don't make up for in all of my strength and largeness, I make up for in my heart. But not good enough, Ben, because they go into the ring and what it turns out to be is a like track around the outside. It's a circle and they each have to bring a football to the other side of the track and put it in the hoop. It was a really easy challenge.
We've seen this one before. They love to do this with the men's day because, sometimes you just got two brick walls hitting each other. But this one always just comes down to size.
Oh, that sucks.
It really has.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's called it's called Him Collider because the movie is Him that they're promoting.
T-Mobile side pick. Got it.
Yeah. And during this elimination, they kept like chanting like, it's him. It's like, you guys are so funny. So they got the football, they race in opposite directions, and the first one to score wins. Twice wins. Everyone yells, you want to be him. And I was like, this is a little heavy-handed, but
yeah.
Okay.
And it's funny because back in the day when they would do that with like the T-Mobile sidekick, definitely towards the end of that, like before, either when they started referencing something else or took a break from it, but just after we had seen that for several challenges in a row, I think they almost had to stop because the way that the challengers was purposely like gratuitously heavy-handed. It'd be like, my T-Mobile sidekick, and it would always be like CT or Bananas doing it. And it was like, all right, okay, we get it, and I think
the T-Mobile sidekick did slap though.
Yeah.
I had that phone. It's my favorite phone I've ever had. I loved that phone. And you know who else had that phone is Veronica Mars.
Is who?
Veronica Mars. Did you ever watch Veronica Mars?
No.
Oh my God, it was one of my favorite shows. If you watched Veronica Mars, leave a comment. It was with Kristen Bell.
If you watch Die Hard, leave a comment. I'd just like to see where the scale tips there.
Oh, I'm sure almost everyone has seen Die Hard. I'm not a movie person. So if you ask me if I've watched a movie, I almost never have. Yeah, I'm sorry.
All right, well, we'll get there when we get to our recommendations portion of this podcast.
Okay, I didn't bring one this week. So you have one?
I do.
Is it Die Hard?
No.
I was like, you can just say it now if you'd like.
It's okay. I would recommend everybody go watch the Diane Sawyer special with Bruce Willis's wife.
Oh.
It was beautiful. It's heartbreaking.
Yeah. I don't know
but
if I can watch that.
no, you probably can't. It's even worse for me because I'm older than you. So I've like really grown up with Bruce Willis, you know? That's, I mean, God. And so have my kids. Like, there's not a Christmas that we don't watch Die Hard. That is like our favorite Christmas movie of all time. And it was beautiful. It was beautiful. It was sad. It was eye-opening. So I would recommend it. Yeah, that's my recommendation.
Yeah, I heard that I think like this week put him in a home. Or
I
not
think that
a
happened.
home, but put him in a separate house
Yeah,
where he
I
has
think
like 24/7 care.
I think it happened a while ago. It's just we found out because she talked about it in the interview. And it is a house. It's just that it's all one story, which is safer for him. And it's very close to where they live. She goes over there and has breakfast and dinner with him every day. But noise, things like that can cause a lot of agitation for somebody that has this. And they have 2 daughters that are young. And for a while, they just like stopped having anybody come to the house. So the girls could never have friends over, you know, just all those things to try to make it comfortable for him. And his wife was just saying, I know he wouldn't want that. He would want to be in a separate house and them be able to have their life.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was heartbreaking. Like, I don't know. It was, I'm glad to see that they're coming together as best they can for him.
I know, it's really beautiful to see that, and, like, they're so lucky to have the resources to be able to do that because so many people do not get that dignity,
Yep.
and, yeah, I don't think that's the kind of dementia my dad has, but just, like, even hearing that they had gotten him a separate home made me feel some kinda way because my dad is still fine right now, but there will be a day when he's not fine, and I feel like I think if I watched that, it would just hit too close to home.
Yeah. I mean, look, I mean, dementia can look, he has a very specific type.
Yeah.
You know, like we went to Texas and you met my uncle and he can still speak fine. And he's had dementia now for 10 years, if not
Yeah.
more. And he just forgets that he's told me that story a few times.
Today.
Right. Whereas it does seem like with Bruce Willis, like it doesn't sound like he can put words together anymore.
Yeah.
Mm, And that's very, you know, for just who he was. And it's just sad.
Devoed. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. All right, we
Okay.
brought the room down quite a bit, so let's really destroy it and say who lost.
Yeah, so Ben loses.
Yeah.
So they
It's a
go
great
round and around.
vodka.
Derek, like, I mean, it doesn't even take that long. Derek wins. Ben doesn't even make a single point. And yeah, it's sad to say bye to Ben. Olivia looks bummed for good reason. And Ben says goodbye. And in the confessional, he says that the new threats need to stick together.
What does Ben do for a living?
I have no idea, but he's been really making a lot of TikToks.
I really feel like he must be some sort of sports announcer because TJ specifically says, like, what would you say, Ben?
Yeah.
And like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like he's got to be something like that.
Yeah. Ben, the challenge job. Yeah, because he does a little announcement and like, it's very self-deprecating in a classy way.
Yeah.
I think I'm somebody who often puts my foot in my mouth and like the thing that I say comes out in a way that I didn't like mean it in my head to come out. And then I have to like backtrack. And I'm always jealous of people who are able to be honest or critical or whatever, but they can say it in a way that still feels loving
Yeah.
or thoughtful or compassionate or whatever. And he seems like he's able to be that way. Okay, so Ben Davis is his last name, and they have 2 sentences for him. Ben Davis is a sports broadcaster, and he competed on Vets and New Threats.
There you go. Sports podcast. So that's it. That's how he talks. So
Yep.
makes sense. I knew there was a reason TJ was asking him how would you say it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then we get the selection. They're picking new partners. So we get Michaela chooses Jeremy, Jake chooses Jonna, Adrian chooses Derek, Turbo chooses Tay, Aviv chooses Cedric, Will chooses Ashley, Lekka chooses CT, Gabe, Anissa, America, Derek, Kay, Leroy, Izzy, Sydney, Leo, Nani, Theo, not because she wants to, but because he's the only one left. She makes a point of being like, you are the only one left. F you.
Yeah.
Justin and D, Olivia is the hangnail. And We also get a confessional of Michaela saying she likes to see Olivia vulnerable.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, Cass, episode 5, season 41 of the challenge. Who was your MVP and who was your Lisa Vanderpump, your LVP?
So my MVP was Ashley. Yeah. And what it was that the way that she talked about Anissa, the way that she talked about, hold on, I got to see who it was now. There was in her confessional. Oh, when she talked about Derek coming up to her and trying to play her like that, like she is seeing things for what they are. And she's one of the only ones that is that clear about it. Whereas the rest of them are like, I don't know, maybe he means it. No, he doesn't. Like, sees through the bullshit. I like it. I also love that she can laugh at herself when she gets a phrase wrong. When she's like, Anissa is flapping around like a dead fish. Wait, what? Anyway.
Yeah.
And I like that she can laugh at herself. My face would have turned bright red and I'd have been like, I don't want to do this confessional anymore. And just
Oh, shut up. You would not.
So yeah, she was my MVP. My Lisa Vanderpump.
That gives me a pit.
What? That I would leave or that she's my MVP?
That she's your MVP. We're just usually so aligned, and it gives me a pit to know that we don't have the exact same thoughts about this.
Oh my gosh. Well, my LVP is a tie between.
No, not allowed. You got to pick one.
Oh God. I don't know. I'm going to let TJ decide. It's either Olivia or Gabe.
Oh.
I know.
Yeah. We should
Because
flip a coin.
did it to them. They both did it to themselves. We should flip a coin. Do we have a coin?
I haven't seen a coin since 1995, so I don't know why I looked around like I might have one.
Listen, let me tell you something.
There's probably an app.
My my father-in-law passed away a couple years ago. The amount of jars of coins.
Oh,
and I mean like pennies. And they're all divided into like, this is the 2 penny jars and this is the, I don't know what I should take them to the bank, but they're just living on shelves. Right.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Zach loves a jar of coins. He loves to have a little jar of coins that we collect our coins in. Okay, what would you like to ask me?
Oh yeah. Who's your MVP and your Lisa Vanderpump?
My MVP was Ben.
Yeah.
Even though he went home, I
you
thought
understand what MVP, it's like most valuable like player, right?
Yeah, well, you understand what MVP means when Ashley's like yelling at her teammate and being a bitch.
She's still here.
Well, yeah. My MVP is Ben because he's a sweetie, McSweetie, and I just like him. And I think that he handled it all extremely well and very classy. And I hope to see him again, maybe on the Traders.
All right. Well, Jonna, if you're listening, if we're just going for who we like best, you would win. That wasn't the direction I took it.
My MVP encapsulates many different realms, right? It's personality, it's whether I think you're cute, it's whether I think you're a good strategizer, it's whether I think that you're annoying.
What mood you were in when you were watching that day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If somebody commented on one of my TikToks.
Right.
And then my LVP is Olivia.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, she played a bad game, and I hate to see the fall from grace because I thought she had a lot of potential at the beginning, but turns out even I, a smart, brilliant, and capable individual, can be wrong sometimes.
It happens. It happens to the best of us,
Yeah. So disappointing. So, Cass, that wraps up our challenge recap. Now we have some pop culture stuff to get into, but first we have a sponsor. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my God, what's so funny was I was like, and we'll get to that right after our break. And then like, brought to you by T-Mobile Sidekick.
Yeah. Do you know what I was going to shout out though? If we are giving recommendations this week, it's not a piece of media. Are you guys familiar with Clear Protein? Because this is not an ad. I just don't know if people know about this. I heard about Clean Simple Eats on Popapologists. That's one of their sponsors. And they do like clear protein drinks. And when we were in Texas, I got one. You remember that?
Yeah,
It
that's
was like
right.
an energy drink.
Yeah, it tasted
So
good.
then I went to GNC here and they had a few flavors to try, but unfortunately the ones that are not energy are not bubbly. And I only
Oh.
wanted them if they were bubbly. So unless I'm like ready to also have an energy drink, which isn't always the vibe, then I don't so much like them. But I found at Target, this is protein.
Oh, wow.
So I bought this at Target. It's a mixture.
Okay.
And it tastes like fake sugar and stuff. Like it's not, but the taste isn't too strong. But
Okay.
it has no sugar. It's like 4 ingredients. It's like whey protein and then whatever they use to flavor it and all that. And you just blend it in with water and this is what it looks like. And I just
many
put lemon and lime
calories?
juice in here. What?
How many calories?
Oh God, Cass, I don't know. I can't think about calories. I'm sorry.
Oh, Jesus. Well,
Yeah.
we're good for you. Some of us have to watch that shit.
No, I'll just get very, very fucking disordered about it if I have to think about calories. I'll become a psycho. But I actually think it's 90. I think I might remember that from something was 90 calories that I looked at recently. It might have been this. But it's 20 grams of protein and it doesn't taste, it's not thick like a protein shake.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'm just such a fan. I'm such a fan of being able to get in some protein because there are some days when I barely eat any protein because I just can't stomach it. So anyway, that's my reco for the day. All right. So let's get into the pop culture shenanigans that happened this week online.
Yeah.
That we have gained almost 100 new followers in 24 hours.
On which thing? On TikTok?
On TikTok.
That is all you. Let's all give it up for Lauren.
Oh, thank you. People are obsessed with Jax Taylor. They can't keep his name out of their mouth, and neither can we. And that TikTok went viral, so people are up in the comments being judgy, which we love to see.
Our definition of viral.
What?
Our definition of viral.
Yes, our definition of viral. Well, it has 46,000 views.
Wow. Yeah. Nicely done.
2,200 likes.
Okay.
And 113 comments so far.
Damn.
Yeah, and it's only been up for like a day.
I'm a little disappointed that that's all for Jax.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
it's what people want to hear.
They want
me to roast Jax.
What did I say? I said we should not be taking him off our TVs.
I know you did say that. And don't worry, because let's just get into the pop culture stuff. Because Jax on his podcast this week did say,
No, Lauren,
what?
You will not start with Jax Taylor as this week's headline of pop culture. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
I don't know what you could be talking about. There's nothing else really going on.
Really? Because I called you. And you didn't answer.
I know.
And I don't know. I want to hear what my voicemail's like. And if it's not absolutely horrible, I want to put it on the podcast. Because first of all, can I just say that I did fall out of my chair? I fully fell out. And here, let me tell you how this went down. I'm working. I'm at my desk. And I have my phone in my hand. I'm answering a text message. And all of a sudden, my screen says Taylor Swift has posted a story. Well, Taylor Swift doesn't post a whole lot of stories. She posts, things, but not a lot of stories. So I'm like, must be a new variant. Let me go ahead and click.
Yeah, what fucking countdown did she just put up? That means that she's going to sell the Dirty Bug 2009 vinyl collection or whatever.
Exactly. And when I tell you, I literally just fell out of my chair. Just fell right out. And I cried like this was my best friend.
Well, she kind of is. And I actually do think that she is your best friend in a lot of ways. I think that, she's written music about you. She spends a lot of time in your state that you live in. And, even on this day that she announced her proposal, that was a special day for you.
It was. So first, she's got the song Cassandra, which, by the way, if you listen to the song, she says my full name. It says Cassandra first. Now, granted, in her lyrics, first is First.
No effing way.
Yeah. Go listen to it. Yeah.
Wow.
So she says my full name in that song, right? She's got Black Dog, which I obviously had at the time, right? I mean, there's been so many things. And then she announced her
Florida.
engagement. Florida, come on.
Yeah,
And then
you're
she announced,
unfortunately in Florida.
and right. Which, when she's here, it's not as bad. And then she announced her engagement on my 13th day of sobriety. And
Everyone give it up for Cass.
Yep,
We
all
have been-
inspired by Kelley Wolf, which we'll get to.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and then I've seen all these TikToks that are like, life is about the first call you made when you found out. And you were my first call.
Oh.
You were my very first call.
Okay, well, let's listen to the voicemail that you sent me,
Alright.
because you called me and I was on a phone call, and I'm almost never on phone calls, but I was, and I didn't realize that something exciting was happening. I thought you were just calling to chit chat, because we literally talk all day.
Yeah.
And I had no idea. I had no idea what had just happened, what had just occurred. And so then I get a voicemail from you.
Are you seeing this? How are you not answering? I have to share this with someone. Did you see they're engaged?
They.
And I knew you'd know. I knew you would know exactly
Totally.
who they were,
Yeah. And we've been and so this news dropped, and People Magazine had some exclusive reporting about the engagement. And my first thought was, how long have they been engaged? Because the week before that, or a few weeks before that, when we did our Taylor episode, I thought, I bet they're engaged, because I don't know. I just I bet that Taylor Swift would secretly get engaged and they'll eventually tell us, kind of a thing, but they just seemed so locked in,
Yeah.
And according to her dad, his dad, who did an interview, I don't know, within 4 hours of this news dropping, they had been engaged right after the podcast recorded a few weeks ago.
Yeah, that actual night.
Yeah. So while they were doing the
caption, English
What?
teacher, and I loved the caption, and I like that they have it on people as well. Like, English teacher and your gym teacher are getting married.
Yeah. Do you think that they agreed on that caption? Like, do you think? I feel like a gym teacher isn't necessarily the most complimentary thing you could call someone, but maybe it's an inside joke or something.
Okay, you're Travis Kelce, and Taylor Swift has agreed to marry you.
Right.
Whatever caption you want, baby.
Yeah.
Whatever caption you want. And no, I thought it was actually really fitting, because, and I don't know if this is the educator in me, where this is something you see. This is not like a lot of the times the gym teacher is a good-looking man, right? And we've seen that in schools forever, where it ends up being the English teacher and the gym teacher. I mean, I can think right now of 3 couples I know that is the English teacher and the gym teacher.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize it was a thing. That's so funny. She also had the little TNT emoji, and I was
Which
like, what
took
is
us
this,
a
like
while.
yeah, like an explosion emoji or something? What a random emoji to use. It must mean something, right? Because we are, at this point, we are going a little bit feral, looking for Easter eggs about what, when, how, why, and then you kind of decoded it.
Yeah, I did. That was totally all me, and not a TikTok I saw either.
Well, you texted me, and I will put it up on the screen, and you said, I figured out what the emoji means.
Yeah. Well, so the guy in the TikTok didn't say what it was, but when he said, like, he said something about, oh, we've got TNT together, and then I was like, TNT, it's the dynamite. That's what that is. Oh, Taylor, Travis, got it.
Clicking, it's all clicking. Yeah,
All
and
making sense.
it seems like this has been like a thing for them. They've gotten jewelry with TNT on it and all this stuff. So this was like a little inside joke between the two of them, which I absolutely love, that they have that kind of inside. It's not a joke, but like an inside thing that they have together. It's adorable.
It is. It really is. It's just, God, the whole thing is just, can you imagine if you were the photographer? You would have to lock me in a room until you announced it. Like, you would not.
I mean, the jeweler, the people that did the flowers, there were probably so many people that were involved in making this happen. And I'm guessing that Jason Kelce must have known that Travis was going to do this after the podcast. His dad alluded to it being like kind of in the moment, but obviously it wasn't. That is a very much a setup situation. But Travis
Yeah.
apparently was like, let's go in the backyard and have a little glass of wine before dinner. And that's when he proposed to her with a rock that's approximately 75 carats. And it's just fucking huge.
You know what's hard? It's really hard to tell how big it is from that picture, though, because of the prongs and the setting. Because I
Yeah.
went and looked at some other old mill cuts, right? And some of them are like, it's just like a whole bunch of little tiny diamonds and then one big one in the middle that's like almost like a square cut or an oval cut or whatever. So I'm just saying, like, the picture, no matter how much I zoom in, I
Yeah.
can't quite tell if I'm looking at a solitary stone or like a bunch of little ones on the side. You know what I mean?
Oh, I think you're looking at a solitary stone.
You think?
Yeah. When you looked up old mill cut, it's like, yeah, I mean, that can come in 0.5 carats or that can come in 25 carats. I don't know about 25 carats, but you know what I mean?
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I bet it's like between 10. I bet it's around 10 or 15.
So I
10
read
carats.
on the jewelers thing, because I did a deep dive into the jeweler and all that. I
The
read it
jewelry
was
she makes.
right.
I
I
love.
read it was, well, and do you know she's a University of Florida graduate?
I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. I read it was 7.5.
7.5. Okay, that I would believe. I would believe that. She probably has tiny little dainty fingers. Oh, here it is.
And I've actually that's never really been a thing for me. Like when people are like, "Oh my God, show me like when I got engaged, everybody's like, show me the ring." I never liked that. Like that was always weird to me.
Oh,
I don't know
why?
why. I think because it's like people tend to think like it
How
equates
much it
to
cost?
how much it costs, and then that equates to how much you're valued.
Yeah, I can
And
see that being not your favorite.
no, it's not my favorite. No.
Yeah.
I have much more. If my husband would have spent thousands upon thousands on a ring, I would have killed him.
Yeah.
I would have been. We have mouths to feed. What are you doing? We don't.
Yeah.
You know. So now in their case, it's fine, but
Oh yeah.
it's also very her.
It is so her.
You know what I mean? Like it's just.
Yeah.
If he would have gotten her like a really slender band princess cut, ugh, like that's what I have. But
Right. Exactly. That's what us tacky normal people have.
right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's vintage, it's old money, it's
Ugh.
got like a lot of celestial kind of vibes to it on the band, which is so her. I looked at all the jewelry on the website and I was like, I want this. I just don't wear gold, but if she could make it in silver and whenever I have $15,000 to sort of
Any day
spend
now.
on a ring.
The Patreons are going to start rolling in. So
Yeah,
fine.
guys, do you want to support my lavish ring purchase? Go ahead.
Yeah.
Subscribe to the channel so that we can create a Patreon. Yeah. So anyway, love to see it. Everybody was immediately speculating too about, like, were there any Easter eggs in the New Heights podcast episode, anything like that? And I think that the idea is that like she didn't know that they were going to get engaged, and I'm sure that she picked out all the decoration in that room that day. I don't think he was picking out things for that room. So
Yeah. I totally agree. What do you think about I mean, I can watch the reaction videos all night and I cry watching girls freak out. Like I am here for it. I love it. I love watching women jumping up and down for joy, especially if they're with other girlfriends. And so I'm curious what you think of that. And then I'm also curious what you think of this like small pick me group of girls that are making the like, I don't care about Taylor Swift videos.
I think it's adorable that basically the whole womanhood and all the gay guys cheered at once when we found out and ran around their jobs and like made sure everybody knew. And you've posted that meme of like, what's that
Paul
guy?
Revere.
Yeah,
Paul Revere. That was me. That was 100%
literally
me that
me.
day. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, and I actually yesterday I was at the hospital doing like some testing for my son, and the lady that was doing the testing, we were just in a room alone together for like 2 hours. So I was chit chatting with her, and I asked her if she was at work when Taylor Swift announced the news, and she said she was. And when she was like in a test, but when she came out, all the girls were talking about it. And yeah, it was just, I think it's amazing. You know, it doesn't cost you anything to be happy for other people.
That is a great way to say it, you know, and I think that it's very layered. I think a lot of us have listened to her music for a very, very long time, and we've listened to someone like tell us all about their heartbreak and their losses and whatever. And I'm obviously not insane enough to think that like I know her, right?
Yeah.
But you know enough that it very much felt like how I would feel finding out a best friend was engaged, especially a best friend that I had watched be in shitty relationships and not treated the way they deserved and all of that. Like, it just felt joyful
Yeah.
and I loved it.
Yeah, we like love to see a happy ending for her. This isn't what's his face, the loser from the 1975. This isn't some other emo loser that like never deserved her to begin with, because they don't deserve any wonderful person. And yeah, obviously we don't know her. She could be a wench. I don't think she is, but she could be. But yeah, it's like it's the collective joy of someone who we relate to, because she's written music that is so relatable for so many of us. And Not Actually Golden on TikTok was talking about how she's excited about this era of music from Taylor Swift, because she's you know, she's probably, I think she's Gen X. She's probably around your age. She has like a 10-year-old kid, and she's like, I need somebody to explain to me how I feel about this time of life.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I saw a meme that was like, if you don't like Taylor Swift, you have not needed her yet.
I love
And
that.
yeah, I was like, that
Yeah.
is a great way to say it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I also heard something recently about how she said that she's a songwriter that sings her songs, not a singer that writes her own songs, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and you know, it's funny you say that because my oldest daughter she's in high school and she came home and you know, she knew what had happened and she said, "I just don't understand why she didn't caption it music teacher and gym teacher. Why would she choose English teacher?" And I'm like, "I think because she identifies more with her writing than anything else,
Yeah.
you know?"
I think that's so true. I think that like she's a writer.
Yeah.
And I think also the English teacher thing is a little bit of a joke between them, because she keeps saying like these big words and using smart phrases, and he's like, "Dur dur, what does that mean?" And she's like, "You know what that means." But I think it's just like a little joke between them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and so this brought up another interesting online conversation, and you're not as, I don't know, fascinated or fixated on this whole dynamic as I am, I think, because I don't know why. We've talked about it a lot, but the Blake Lively of it all, I think there's
Mm.
something about it, I think, that like rubs you the wrong way.
I am a person who tends to get my pop culture from People magazine because I know that they're going to give it out when it is verifiable.
Yeah.
And I get a little cringe speculating on things. Like even I heard like Blake Lively didn't even like the post. But then how does anyone know that? Because she's got it turned off so you can't see who likes it. It's just your name and others. So that feels very like an assumption.
Oh, did you look at that?
Yeah, I went to go try to look. And I'm
Yeah.
like, well, you can't look and see who liked it.
Yeah.
And so when I'm Googling it, I see other people are posting that on Reddit and on TikTok. And then when I go and look, you know, and try to Google how to see who likes it, it's like Taylor Swift has that feature turned off. Like you can't see who liked it. And I'm like, well, then we're all just guessing.
Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't realize that. But you're right. That's not great reporting if that's what people are saying, which it is what people are saying. I'm trying to find the article without leaning forward to type this in, but
as you type. But I will say, like, I cannot deny that there is mounting evidence that they are not that more than likely Blake Lively didn't like it. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though I
right.
can't
I mean,
see it, I would
yeah.
tend to believe it's true.
Yeah, I mean, I think that they are no longer friends.
Yeah.
It would be she's the godmother of her kids. Like if Blake Lively was still in the fold, she would have posted about it. She would have said something about it.
You know what? That's it. The reason that I think I get uncomfortable is because, and I said this to you when we've talked privately, is that I don't want to believe that Taylor Swift would end a friendship where she's the godmother of kids based on just the dragon text.
No, do you know what people are saying?
What is
Because
it?
so first of all, just to say, like People magazine reported that they're no longer speaking, and you know that this had to have come from Taylor's camp.
That's Tree. I mean,
Yeah, like Tree has fed them information for months about how they're no longer friends. So this is as close as Taylor goes to going scorchers with someone. Like,
oh yeah.
this is all we need to know. They are no longer friends. Now, why they're no longer friends, we don't know, right? We're really just speculating, but
I don't think you put a song called Ruin the Friendship on your album. And I don't think that song will be about Blake Lively. I really don't.
But
I don't think you
she
put a
knows.
title like that on that album with what we're discussing. You know what's being discussed in pop culture.
100%. That is a nod. She doesn't have to say it.
Right.
But what, like through all the Justin Baldoni, Blake Lively stuff, what has come out is that allegedly Blake Lively tried to extort Taylor Swift and basically said, if you don't put out a public statement in support of me, then I will be forced to release text messages, like private text messages that we've had over our friendship. So that's what people think kind of caused the rift, or was the last straw that she wasn't no longer friends with her. I don't know. It's really hard to follow all of the stuff going on with this case between all of the deposition. Like, I'm not a lawyer, and it's hard for me to like understand what is fact versus what is theory. So I don't want to like come out and say that that's why. I don't know. But you can also imagine a scenario where you have a friend who you support who puts you in a really compromising position, whether it's the extortion or whether it's being at the penthouse when Justin came over to sign that paperwork, or whether it's asking to use the music in the movie and then screwing you over, or whatever it is, being put in some sort of position where it's like, not only did you put me in this position, but I actually don't think you're telling the truth about this, and I'm not willing to go down with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that if Taylor thought that Blake was telling the truth, I think Taylor would be supportive of Blake publicly.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, if the extortion thing happened, then it's a whole other layer. With exception to the extortion, I don't want my best friend to abandon me when I make a mistake. You know what I mean? Now, if it's extortion, it's a different thing. Like if that turns out to be true, then that is friendship ending. But if Blake Lively misread things with Justin Baldoni, or her husband put things in her ear or whatever, I don't want that to be something that ends a friendship.
I bet that it's a collection of things, because also last summer, this is when they had just wrapped filming the movie, right? I think it wrapped around last summer. At that point, if Blake is telling Taylor, like, they were out together all the time last summer. They were papped everywhere last summer. And so, and just as an observer of that, I'm thinking, okay, Blake has asked her, like, I need good PR. I need some publicity. I need like some visibility. Can we do this together? Like, we're friends. Like, you'll do me this solid. Like if Taylor goes out with you in public, it is a favor.
Yeah, I mean, yes. I would like to. I think she. I mean, what are we gonna say? She never like just wants to hang out with any human being ever.
No, but she doesn't have to be papped coming out of the taxi into the restaurant. Like that is by choice. If Taylor wants to be seen, she's seen, and if she does not want to be seen, she is not seen.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
has the resources and the ability to go fly under the radar anytime she wants. If she's out being papped like that in their little outfits and like all that kind of stuff, then they planned it. They called
Yeah.
the paparazzi. They told them where they were going to be and all that kind of stuff. So I just think like you put that together and then you put together the fact that, okay, so she accuses him of sexual harassment. There's so far like not really any evidence to support that. Maybe Taylor is like, where did this come from? You have never told me about this, and all of a sudden you're suing him for harassment, and you've put me in this position where I was out with you for like months all summer, and then you try to extort me. Then you expose my text messages, or like you expose like text messages where you talk about me, like basically weaponizing me with other, like maybe it's the combination of all of the things that is like, wait, what the fuck just happened here? You just
Yeah.
used me and nobody uses me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't think they're friends anymore. I don't know why, but I don't think it looks good for Blake.
Well, look, when Travis Kelce stopped following Ryan Reynolds,
Yeah.
that felt intentional. Like we've said this before. You do things like that, we're gonna notice.
Yep. That was intentional for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay. So is that all the Taylor Swift stuff we want to talk about? Oh, I had one more thing.
Yeah.
So this is still more about Blake, but also Justin Anderson, he's a celebrity hairstylist. Do you know who he is?
No.
He does Kristen Cavallari's hair. He's done Jennifer Aniston's hair. He does a lot of like famous blonde people's hair.
Okay.
And he's best friends with Kristen Cavallari. And
Okay.
he posted a TikTok the other day talking about how, or maybe it was like a clip from a podcast he was on, but either way, he was talking about how, from what he's heard in working in the industry and working with celebrities, he obviously has to sign NDAs. If he's worked with either of them, if he's done their hair, he couldn't say that unless they agree. But he was like, trust me when I say that Taylor has an amazing reputation in Hollywood, and she is so kind and so generous, and Blake does not.
Yeah, I've heard that a few places. And you and I have had this conversation a million times where I just struggle to believe the worst in people.
I know. Well, it's very sweet, and I think that also we both agree that like most people are not evil and aren't just like evil bad people. Most people have whatever they're doing, they've justified it in their heads. And I think the same is true in this situation. Whatever happened, Blake has justified the way that she's behaved in her own head, whether it was reasonable or not. Like if the harassment happened, then obviously everything that comes after that is, well, not in regards to Taylor, but everything that comes after that in terms of like really fighting and smearing Justin's name, that was all fair and all is fair in love and war if somebody has harassed you, like, but also kind of controversial, but Killer Trav came out with an American Eagle ad this week, the day after they announced their engagement.
I did hear this. Hear this. And why do we hate American Eagle right now? How is that part of my liberal purity test?
Well, we don't hate American Eagle. It's just interesting timing, considering that was like 2 or 3 weeks ago, I guess, or maybe a month ago when Sydney Sweeney's ad came out. That was an American Eagle ad. So do you remember that?
No.
Okay, so this is actually really funny.
Who is Sydney Sweeney?
You're so cute. Okay, hold on. This is Sydney Sweeney, and she is a Gen Z movie star. She's in a bunch of like rom-coms and stuff.
Okay.
And this ad came out, and people were talking about how it was like a play on eugenics. Like she has blonde hair and blue eyes and she's talking about great genes, and people were like, basically, from what I can tell, the right said that the left was freaking out about this ad. But from what I can tell, no, like, liberal media that I follow was freaking out about this ad. I feel like this was just like rage bait, basically.
This
American
is just
Eagle
like
A
the
knew.
Cracker Barrel thing. I don't think any
Yes.
like liberal gave a shit about what the like this woke stuff where they're changing it, and I'm like, I don't have any idea what you're talking about. I don't remember us asking them to change it. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's like, yeah, I think it was just weaponized to make the liberals seem like woke crazy people. And like, how could you, they're just talking about genes, like using that plausible deniability thing. But I actually
Well,
watched a TikTok.
you could be saying has great genes, as in GENES, and that still wouldn't necessarily have anything to do with, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, with her being white, her having blue. Like, I'm not trying to be obtuse here,
right.
but I think American Eagle knew what they were doing and that they knew that this would be controversial. I don't think that there's any way a marketing team comes up with this and doesn't think it's going to be controversial. It definitely got people talking. I think that was their goal. I don't think that they actually are right wing. I don't think that they, believe in eugenics. I don't think that they think only white people are beautiful.
Why do you think this would be controversial? She's a beautiful. Listen, people who are beautiful without having a shitload of plastic surgery, it's nothing other than the genes they were born with. Like, I can't do shit about this nose. I'm stuck with it. It's my genes. It's just the way that it is. So I don't understand. All they're saying is that she's beautiful,
Well,
and it's a play
yeah,
on
I
the word
mean,
genes. I don't.
yeah, and
get
I
it.
think there's also a video that accompanies this.
Okay.
I agree with you. I also don't find it offensive, but I do think I watched a marketing person talk about this, and they were like, this is a specific marketing strategy. You do something that like you can have plausible deniability that you didn't mean it in any kind of way, but you know that it'll get people talking about your brand, and American Eagle's stock like boosted up the next day.
Okay.
So, and they were like in the pits. They had just come out with like an earnings and it was not good. So anyway, all of this is to say about this was like a huge conversation, especially in the right wing, and talking about how people on the left were like crazy, right? So then Killa Trav comes out with his collab with American Eagle, and I'm sure that the moment that this ad dropped and there was all the controversy around it, Taylor's team was scrambling because they do not want to be associated with a brand that is like conservative or political in any way this way. I'm sure they were like, whoa. Apparently this, like the Killa Trav, I keep calling him Killa Trav, I can't help it now.
I
The Killa
know.
Trav collaboration was done about a year ago. So before this ad came out, before any of this controversy, but I just thought it was interesting. Like American Eagle is currently in some hot water because of this ad, and now he comes out with a thing, and it's like America's darling, and we're trying to bring on Trav as like America's darling man, and then he comes out with this ad, and just I feel like bad timing, and I'm sure they were dreading this drop. But the ad itself, like all the photos and stuff for his collaboration, it was like almost all people of color. I think he was the only white person in it.
Yeah, I mean, look, there's not much he could do this week that I'm gonna get upset about.
And maybe that was, strategic that they dropped it the next day. Like that might have been strategic because he had a bunch of goodwill at that point.
Of course, yeah. Like
Yeah.
I don't even want to. Yeah, I don't want to give it. No, it's just nothing but joy and happiness for when it comes to the two of them right now.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to decide what I'm going to wear to my phone that day. It's just too much to think about, honestly.
This is the ad. He came out with like a line. Yeah, so he's here in the middle, and then, a group of otherwise diverse people. And they did this a year ago. So, yeah.
I have no problems with this.
I have no problems with it either. Go Trav.
Yep.
Okay. Next up, should we get to Kelley Wolf?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's get to Kelley Wolf. Okay. So if you've been living under a rock, Kelley Wolf is from The Real World New Orleans and The Real World Homecoming, as well as a couple challenges very early on. And she married Scott Wolf from Party of Five. They've been married like 21 years and they're going through a divorce. And we have been watching Kelly spiral for the last 2 months or so. I definitely would say the last 2 weeks have been the most intense that we've seen. I mean, obviously there was plenty of things that she was posting that were concerning.
Yeah.
She was starting to make some public allegations. There had
Yeah, she
been a
has
restraint. Go ahead.
she has accused Scott of abuse, and I
Mhm.
actually made a TikTok about her being released and everything, and people were like, "Yeah, but she was abused." And from what I've seen, she's explicitly said, "I will accuse you of anything if it means I can see my kids." So I think like she's outwardly said like, "I will lie."
Yes, she has
Right? Okay.
explicitly said that she will lie, that she's been told to make up claims. That was her text message that was reviewed by people, that where she said, I have been told to make up claims. So yeah, so it's been getting worse and worse. He got a restraining order. He tried to help her out by dropping the restraining order. And, as long as they had this temporary custody agreement, which barred her from talking about um, the divorce or custody on social media, it didn't seem like it mattered what she was told. She could not control herself.
No.
She just couldn't do it.
She was
And so
posting at one point, she had posted 20 Instagram stories in 20 minutes. Just
yes.
like story after story after story after story. Private text messages between her and her kids, rambling rants about being an alpha female and about how she'd been kicked out of every bar in town and how they no longer supported her, even though she supported them, and just like very erratic
Yeah.
behavior.
Well, and from August 22nd to August 26th, that's really when it escalated, where we were seeing, like you were saying, like 20 stories in 20 minutes. It was all night, and that's when she was starting to do some of this doxing as well. Like she's sharing people's personal information, whether it's their Instagrams, their phone numbers, just she didn't care at that point, the text messages. Before we go further, the ironic part of this is that before the last 48 hours of her being out, before she got arrested, you and I had talked and decided we think we're not going to cover this anymore.
Yeah, we were getting
This,
increasingly worried that it was gonna have a tragic ending and that we would be stuck feeling really shitty for
yeah.
having ever drawn any attention to it to begin with, even though it had sort of become our hyper obsession.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people's,
Yeah,
like you can't help it. And I'd even like researched the psychology behind why that is. Like why can't we look away? Why are we watching this? Like what's going on? And because you feel kind of guilty, but I think what we
and
said was
icky.
like, yeah, it's like this doesn't feel juicy, it feels dirty to be watching, right? And so then the way things happened, though, we ended up saying we can't not talk about this. Like this is now
Yeah, well,
crazy.
we were so relieved when she posted on her Instagram stories after a few Instagram stories that seemed very ominous, and I had texted you being like, "This is very ominous."
Now, before you say what happened next, because I know that you had mentioned on TikTok that her son had posted an Instagram story just saying, like, my mom's not well, anyone that is
Yeah.
supporting her was. I didn't know if you knew that he also commented on one of those ominous posts that you're talking about, because now you can see comments when people comment on your stories on Instagram.
Oh, right. Oh my God, it
Yeah.
didn't occur to me that that's what I was seeing. Okay, what did he say?
Yeah.
So, yeah, just so you guys know, like, I guess the day before she got arrested and the day after she had posted the live video of her seeing her kids.
That was
And
one of the most traumatic things I've ever seen, and, like, I think
yeah,
people that watched it were really traumatized. If you're a child of divorce, if you have family members that have mental health issues, that
addiction.
was addiction. It was incredibly hard to watch.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah, 10 out of 10 do not recommend watching it.
No.
To recap, she sobbed, she yelled at Scott, she asked her kids if they were okay. They looked very concerned. Scott said, "I love you." She said, "I hate you." He left with the kids. And yeah, it was very hard to watch.
Yeah.
She
So
was
her
not okay.
right. Right. So then on August 26th, she posts those two ominous posts when and her son that had posted the story comments and said, just stop lying. Because she had said in there, like, I'm going away, I'm deactivating my Instagram, and he just said, just stop with the lies.
Yeah, because she was like, "I'm going to Australia. I give up. I surrender. Maybe I'll have a baby."
Yeah. She's had her tubes tied and
Oh,
she's
she has? Thank
40.
God.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what she said. This was a few months ago. She talked about like how, she's not in menopause yet, but she has her tubes tied. And I remember being like, thank fuck. Like, she's 48. Not that it can't happen, but you know,
Yeah. So she was posting those ominous posts, and her son commented on that. He also posted on his own public Instagram stories being like, "My mom is not well. I do not associate with her. Anybody who supports her in this state, like, can screw off. You're not doing her any good by supporting her." And yeah, I mean, it's like a few weeks ago she posted a screenshot of her bank account being overdrawn by $2,500, like a screenshot.
that was just a week ago.
Yeah.
It feels
So
like it's been weeks because there's so much. So then we get those ominous texts, and then right before those pink ones, she had decided to post Scott's number, and people started calling it. And
yeah, not like she didn't like post a screenshot of text that had his number in it. She wrote out his number on it on her screen and said, "You can direct all inquiries to
Dimples
Scott."
can handle his own press. Why don't you guys give him a call? Is what she said. And at that point, he calls the police, who come to his house. And in the time that he's there, the officer's there, like 24 phone calls come in, and however many texts, just random people, that have decided they're gonna give it a try. And so then the officer goes over to her house. She refuses to answer the door. She's talking through the front window. She's in a bathrobe. I will say, I would like to believe that the officer knows that she's constantly going live on Instagram when police are there. I want to come up with some reason why this white woman was allowed 1 hour in her house to get her shit together before. I'm just imagining, I don't think that that's how that goes a lot of the time when they're
No,
there to
yeah,
arrest
especially
you.
if you're a person of color who's not, or somebody who's not wealthy or whatever. Yeah,
Right.
you're so right. I mean, she was definitely given preferential treatment even in her state.
Right. Now, it could be that it's like, listen, I'm sure that obviously that county is well aware of the fact that she's filmed them, when she's called them before. So you could also just be like cautious as fuck about what you do, because I don't know what she's filming right now, whatever. But anyways, after an hour, she posts while he's there. She's getting
Yeah.
dressed and posting on Instagram.
The reason we knew she got arrested is because she posted that the sheriff is there, and then she stopped posting on Instagram, and we're like, she must be in custody, because that is the only thing that would stop this woman from posting her every life
Yes.
moment on Instagram.
Yes. Yes. So she gets arrested. The officer says that, he would like her to go before a judge or a mental health professional before she's released. And she's then, booked and arrested. Her bond is set, I think, at 5,000, which means 500 bonds are out of jail. Because it's usually 10%. So she's in there for I guess about a day and a half, because she
Yeah.
got out at like 3:56 p.m. yesterday, was what the booking details said. Not that I
Yeah, and Cass, meanwhile, I'm like, "How do you know this?" And she's like, "Well, I obviously, like, looked up the court records." "What do you mean, how do I know this?" And I'm like, "You are
obviously.
something
Obviously.
else."
Yeah. Yeah. I don't trust reporting. I need to go see it myself, give
Yeah.
me the goods. Give me the goods. So she's been released. I don't know, obviously we're all hoping that whoever bailed her out is someone that loves her and it was an agreement to go right into treatment. I don't know. She has not posted on social media again yet. She's been court ordered not to. that doesn't really mean anything to me because she was
Yeah.
court ordered not to talk about her divorce and she live streamed it, like, her kids. So
Yeah.
that doesn't mean a whole lot to me.
Right. Yeah. And they said that she must also participate in an inpatient or outpatient medical, behavioral, or psychological or psychiatric treatment. And on my TikTok, I talked about how, like, this is too vague for my liking. I would have, because what you had talked about is how if she got arrested again, you thought that she would have to serve 180 days in an inpatient center,
If she
right?
got 5150 again. And what I think is that is part of when you're going to court with someone for custody, you can come up with some agreements that become enforceable by the courts, right? And we're not going to be privy. Family court is a lot different. This is criminal, what we're looking at right here with the arrest. Criminal records, we can read the police report, we can read, that's all public information. Family court is more behind closed doors. So I can read what motions are filed, I can read when you have a court hearing, but I can't actually look at the documents to see what's in your motion, right? But it sounded like there had been an agreement there where if you are 5150 again, you agree that you need to go for long-term treatment of 6 months. And if you don't do that, you don't get to see the kids.
Yeah.
That's what I think what happened there.
Yeah. And we are hoping that that ends up being the case because she needs to be in an environment where her mental health can stabilize, where she can stop using all the substances that she's using, whatever she's using. She's definitely drinking. So,
I mean, that's
smoking.
very, yeah. And I do want to talk about that part for just a second because they did have to shut the Reddit forum down today. I don't know if you saw that the Reddit mega thread was shut down. It got too big for the moderators to handle because you're also and it's kind of, it sucks because up until the arrest and all this breaking news, this has been the first time in my life that I have watched a Reddit just be so filled with compassion and supporting each other and being open with each other about whether it's people that have family members that have had mental health struggles or addiction struggles or whatever. But what happened was just in the last 6 days, there's been an influx of new people on this Reddit forum that are not that way. They've just read the story on people and suddenly decided, I want to find out more. And they've come in and they've been nasty, they've been mean, they've been trolly. It's just been like, well, that's unfortunate. So they had to shut it down. But before that, it was really a beautiful forum and a place to be. And I read somebody's post, and if you'll bear with me, I just want to pull it up real quick. All right, here we go. So this was posted when she got arrested. Well, I guess we get a moment to breathe for now. I want everyone reading today to take a moment to pause. This is a tragic situation for the Wolf and Limp families. The damage done to these kids and family will always outweigh any positive outcome. However, there's one profound positive coming from all of this. Look at the mental health and substance abuse awareness she has unknowingly spread. Look at the compassion in this group. Mental illness is so stigmatized. We just watched something so deranged and mind-boggling. It was as if mental illness was trying to prove its point. And addiction is a nasty, nasty beast. There is going to be bigger awareness because of this group. People here genuinely cared, and we weren't fighting like a bunch of children. That rarely happens. Maybe it makes somebody in here go to treatment. Maybe for those of us in recovery, her story is a damn big reminder why we stay sober. And she goes on, right? And I think that there's validity to that. And I think it's just in the way that we can feel joy and happiness for Taylor Swift and we don't know her. You can have a story like this that serves as a warning and that wakes you up. And I certainly knew that I needed to get a better handle on my alcohol consumption. And there's mental health issues on a side of my family. And this really was the thing that pushed me to I don't want to even fuck with this.
Yeah.
I don't want to chance this. This is terrifying. I feel so horrible for her. She is beautiful. She is intelligent. She's in the past always shown herself to be very loving. And this is heartbreaking. And so if the good that comes out of it, I mean, God, think about, you can tell she's always wanted to be into self-help. If she could really go somewhere for 6 months and get on what she needs to be on and all of that, she might find that she's changed a lot of people's lives for the better and woken a lot of people up. And it didn't need to be through Eric Nye's shrooms, you know?
Right.
So
Yeah, thanks for sharing that. I think, yeah, like that is what a mental health crash out looks like, and it can happen.
you said that's a mental health like crash, and I agree, but I do think and I'm not a shrink. I'm not trained at all in any of this, but just from what I've read in the last few weeks, it's very unlikely that someone has this kind of break if they're not also using substances.
Yeah.
And I think that's because you look in that forum and there's plenty of people that are like terrified. Like, can I just snap?
Yeah. Yeah, you needed to read that for comfort. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you should know that like there's plenty of things you can do to prevent something like that. And
Yeah, I mean, like TBD whether she has bipolar or whether she's in just some sort of psychotic episode due to stress and substance use and stuff like that. Like, it should be said that mania from bipolar happens whether you're using substances or not, although maybe substances can trigger it. But also, like, when you're not in mania, you're in depression. So it's a bit more obvious. And usually people are able to get medicated and then feel better.
so we
Yeah.
sincerely hope, well, we sincerely hope she gets better, and we sincerely hope that we have nothing else to say about this for a
Yeah.
long time.
Yeah.
That would
So-
be our hope.
Yeah, we wish her the best. We have watched with like love in our hearts for what she's going through, but especially for what her kids and family are going through. People that watched the person that they know and love disappear before their eyes. Devastating. So hopefully she gets stable and gets better soon. And I want to, like, this is sort of a random last note to leave on, but I wanted to talk
Okay.
about, did you hear about this story about Bill Belichick's girlfriend?
I mean, I remember when they like did the interview and that went off the rails and all that.
No, she is apparently trademarking the word, or trying to trademark the word gold digger so that she can like use it, I guess, for like merch or something.
Oh my, can you just do that? Can I like go trademark shitbag?
I have no idea if you can just do that or not. Wow, look at the two of them. They don't even look like father and daughter. They look like grandfather and granddaughter.
I'm telling you, it's like I don't know why stuff like that gives me the ick as much as you know what it is. I think it's that like as a 44-year-old woman, almost 44, when I look at like a 22-year-old, I'm like, you are a child.
No, literally. Yeah.
You're an idiot. Why?
Yeah.
Well, like what are we going to talk about?
Yeah. I don't know any of the same music as you. I don't
No.
have any of the same like cultural memories as you.
No.
We literally are from different generations where we have whole different ways of thinking. It's insane. I totally
I
agree
have
with you. And
wisdom. Like you're.
I don't know if Bill Belichick has wisdom. Maybe that's the problem.
Maybe that's it. I'm sorry, but I think it's gross. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So,
Gross.
you know why? Because the reason that Bill Belichick probably likes that is because, like, once you have some age and wisdom, you're not going to put up with that kind of guy.
Exactly.
So,
he's probably a really shitty partner.
I would bet that he is. So,
yeah.
And look at that. We made it through all of pop culture. And I somehow was able to get you completely off of Jax Taylor.
Oh my God. We didn't even talk about Jax Taylor. Wait, shoot, because I wanted to talk about Britney's post.
Okay,
so one last thing, guys.
Okay, yeah.
One last thing. It's really quick, but I just like had to talk about it, which is that Britney posted this weekend. Did you see this or sometime this week? She posted being like, do you guys remember when I was so upset about the don't do it Britney sign?
Yeah.
And I replied and I was like, girl, yes, we remember.
Yeah.
Everybody was like, Brittany, don't do it. It was
Right.
not meant to be taken as a joke.
Right. We were like pleading with you.
The reason that you were so upset is because it hit a nerve.
Right.
Because you were marrying one of the worst people possible.
Right.
Anyway, yeah, the last thing is if you guys want to get the recap of Jax's recent podcast episode because you don't want to listen and give him the listens, then I recapped it on our TikTok.
It was
We'll put
great.
the
It was
handle.
a great recap. I did not want to listen to that podcast, and I really felt like after I listened to your TikTok, I didn't have to.
Good. Thank you.
Perfect.
Appreciate that. People were like, thank you for doing this so that I don't have to listen. And you're welcome. I can't help
public
it. I'm sort of
service.
like hyper fixated on him. I think because I'm so interested in mental health and like it's just really interesting to watch the justification that he uses for his behavior and like what narcissism really looks like in somebody and how rigid that personality type is and
Yeah.
how difficult it is to have any growth.
Well, and I think I actually commented on your TikTok because you were like, he said he teased that he has something coming up next, and I'm like, it will be a YouTube show, is what he's gonna do.
I know, totally. Somebody was like, he's probably starting an OnlyFans.
He's gonna have Tom Schwartz follow him around with a camera. That's
Yeah,
what he's
totally.
gonna do. Yeah.
Anything to stay in the spotlight, even though he has been like, he should be hiding right now and growing, you know, like disappear for a little bit. Come back as a new man. Maybe people will like you again. I mean, people like Louis C.K. again.
That's true.
So anything's possible. All right. And with that, thanks for listening this week. Please remember to subscribe, follow, comment, like, share with a friend. We love you.
Yeah. Thanks for listening.